What is up, crypto enthusiasts and crypto adventurers? My name's Colin. This is Colin Talks Crypto. A short while ago, I did a video entitled the $100,000 Bitcoin, and I showed you how and why we were going to reach $100,000. It's been a few months, and so this is now the update to that. And I'm not only going to show you how we're going to reach $100,000, but I'm going to show you how that's going to happen easily. And in fact, I believe we are going to go well beyond that. Thank you very much for joining me. All right, and today is October 10th, 2018. And I just want to preface this video with this is not financial advice. Do not construe this as trading advice. I am not recommending that you buy or sell. I am merely sharing my views on what I'm doing in the cryptocurrency space. Treat it as educational material only. Okay, so I've prepared a slideshow for you guys, and I'm going to take you step by step through my logic on how we're going to surpass $100,000 per Bitcoin, as well as some other predictions for Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, EOS, Cardano. Okay, so on this first slide, we have today's market as it looks. If you load up coinmarketcap.com, you will see this graph under the top when you click on market cap here. And this is the total market capitalization of cryptocurrencies right now. And as I've showed you in previous videos, this formation is very similar to a bull pattern. As you can see here in 2013 to 2016, our previous bull run cycle had a very clear-cut bull formation. And you can only easily see this in retrospect because the volatility is so intense that if you take any smaller time frame, it's easy to lose the big picture. But I'm here to look at the big picture and what are we looking at in the years to come. So as you can see, we are forming a bull shape here, and you can start to see it now that we've leveled off. It's doing exactly what it did here. And I think that based on the graphs that I just showed you, we are right here where the green arrow is pointing, and we are in an accumulation period, which means it is what I would consider for myself a wise period to invest in cryptocurrencies. This is when I will be accumulating and stocking up on discounted sale prices before we begin the ascent into the next bull run. Now, just for reference, it's worth noting that this is not the end of the graph. We ended up going way up off the graph here to $20,000. So you'll notice there's 3 points I've drawn on this graph, A, B, C. A was the December 2013 peak of about $1,150 per Bitcoin. And B is where we are today in relation to that cycle. We've leveled off and we're about here in this accumulation period. C, which is again off the graph, is where Bitcoin spiked at $20,000 in December 2017. So the time period between A and B was 10 months approximately. Keep in mind, everything in this video is very approximate. We're just looking at the very big picture here. So we could be off by a month or two here or there, but it's okay because we're looking at the grand scheme of things. So it's been about 10 months from December to October, from the peak of December 2017 to October 2018. And so looking at the graph, I actually predict that it's going to be about 18 more months before we fully peak out on the next bull run. Now, in the last bull run cycle, that was about a year and a half of time. So already it's becoming evident that the current price cycle is happening more rapidly than the last bull run, about 1.5 times more quickly. So in the last bull run from 2013 to 2017, when it hit $20,000, that was 4 years, believe it or not, guys. 4 years it took us to go from peak to peak to hit that $20,000. And so if we take that same time frame, A to C here is 4 years. But because this bull run, the current one we're in, appears to be correcting faster, it looks like we're going to do the whole cycle in about 28 months. So we've progressed 10 months along, and we have about 18 months to go before we climax at the top of the next bull run. And I would say we're about 40%, 35% or so through the current cycle. So if you add 28 months to the peak of the last bull run, which was December 2017, you end up with about April 2020. So I predict very roughly we'll be about mid-year 2020 when we hit our next peak. Again, that could be off by several months in either direction, but that's my very rough guess, just to give you something to prepare for and to what to expect. Because anyone who's telling you that the next bull run is starting now and we're heading up, it's not true. We're not going to hit that yet. We have a little ways to go, guys. Again, this bull shape is just progressing, and it's going to take plenty more time to play out through the various stages. Now let's move on to something else here. Now that we know approximately April 2020 is when we expect the next peak to occur, and by the way, that doesn't mean I'm going to wait to buy my crypto before that peak, because as I showed you, the accumulation period is now, and I would say for the next like 4 to 6 months is when I should be accumulating as much crypto as possible for the accumulation phase. After that, you're kind of buying on FOMO, and you're also going to miss out on a lot of profits. So you have to get in before everyone else gets in, not after people are getting in. You'll just cut your own profits at that point. So I'm going to get in now to the market. That's what the graph's telling me. So now that we know that 2020, April, is when we're going to estimate the next bull run peak, let's do some comparisons of previous cycles. So in 2012 to 2013, we went from $11 to $255. That was a 23x increase. In 2013 to late 2013, we had a next bull run, which was a $70 to $1,150 increase. That's a 16x increase. And our last price cycle went from December 2013 to December 2017, and it went from $230 at the bottom here to about $20,000 at the peak. And that was an 86x increase. And I just noticed something here, guys. The distance in time between these peaks seems to correlate to how much of an increase we have. The longer the correction and the entire cycle takes, the bigger the increase. So we saw a 23x increase here, we saw a 16x increase here, and we saw an 86x increase here, but we had to wait 4 years for the cycle to complete. So I'm taking that into account when I do my predictions here. So I predict that in the next bull run, this is what we could be seeing. So is it going to be a 16x increase like we saw here? I highly doubt it's going to be that little, because look at the time frame here. It was about 3/4 of a year between this peak and this peak. But our next cycle is going to be, as we said, 28 months. That's over 2 years. And so I think actually it's going to be closer to a 50x increase. But let's be conservative and say that it's a 23x increase like we saw on this cycle. Again, super conservative. That's still a $138,000 Bitcoin, guys. And I think that's very conservative. I think we're going to surpass that. Now, before I go on to my predictions for other cryptocurrencies, I just want to show you how I came to this 50x increase. Okay, I made some notes here just to make this really clear. So 28 months, as I said earlier, is what I predict the length of our current cycle based on how we progressed and how we're leveling out right now compared to the previous cycle. 48 months was the length of our last price cycle from December 13 to December 2017. Well, 28 months is 58% of this time period. So 28 months is about this long of the entire 48 months that this cycle took. So if we had an 86x increase for 48 months, we're going to see approximately a 50x increase based on the length of this price cycle. And so 50x times where we're at now is 300,000. And I always did the prices from the low to the high on each of these cycles. So I'm keeping it constant when I do that figure. So 6,000 roughly to up to $300,000 for a Bitcoin. So guys, that's what I see here. I think that actually $100,000 is way too low of a prediction for this upcoming bull run. And I want to add one conditional statement to this. Bitcoin capacity could be a huge limiting factor. In fact, I could see that being a monkey wrench that gets thrown into the mix here that stunts this from reaching its full capacity. You know, I feel like the only reason it would not reach these figures here is because of the block size limit. And we have a 1 megabyte base block with a couple megabytes of a SegWit block, and it's just not enough capacity, as the previous bull run proved. We had $50 fees in this time period here, and we've had a lot less transactions while the market's correcting and going into its bear market. So we haven't had a chance to see what are the fees going to be. And I think we're going to find out, and I think they're going to be huge. I think we're going to see hundreds of dollars in fees easily in the next bull run. And I think that could be what pushes people off into the other various cryptocurrencies, because people just will not put up with that. The network's going to congest and it's going to push people off. I hope it doesn't, but I think it will. So that's why I invest in other cryptocurrencies, because it's a hedge against what I consider to be the poor planning of the Bitcoin core team at the moment. And again, I wish it wasn't so. I wish they would just increase the capacity, the block size, but that's what Bitcoin Cash did. And that's exactly why they did it, because they're looking at this future increase of capacity. Okay guys, so with that being said, let's look at where the other cryptocurrencies could be. And this is again a very, very rough estimate. In fact, a very conservative estimate. But let's just do a 20x increase. They could go as high as a 50x increase, especially depending on the various fundamental qualities of these coins. For example, if Cardano by that time is a fully smart contract featured platform with interoperability, we could hit that high end 50x on that price, which would take this way above $1.70. And EOS, if it's able to scale and meet the demands of people, we might hit more than a 20x increase here. But for now, we're just going to be conservative, because I think the conservative estimate's already freaking huge. And we'll just take a look at these. So Ethereum today, $227 at a 20x increase only, we will hit over $4,000 per Ethereum in 2020. Bitcoin Cash, currently it's about $514. At only a 20x increase, we're going to easily surpass $10,000 in 2020. EOS, we're at $5.87 per EOS. At only a 20x increase, we're going to surpass $115 per EOS. And it'll be time for that $100 EOS party in San Diego. And Cardano at 8.5 cents per ADA, at only a 20x increase, we will surpass $1.70 per Cardano. And so guys, that's what I see coming up here. I see 2020 as being the year of the next bull run. I see us hitting up to $300,000 per Bitcoin, somewhere easily in the range of $138,000 to $300,000 per Bitcoin. Okay guys, I hope you found this video useful. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that bell icon, and let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching this very much, and I hope you have a great day. Again, this is not trading advice. This is not financial advice. This is how I see the market and how I'm planning accordingly for my future. Take care. Have a great day.